In Doug DeMiro's speech. This is my 2011 Proton Satria Neo CPS. And today, I'm just going to give you a simple tour as to what I've done. Oh my gosh, is that a mini JCW? And
That
if it was
possibly
a
is.
GT3, I would have lost my shit. I would go feral over that thing. Anyway, look at it. You might think it's stock, and well, it was stock, but it's not stock anymore. Now, hear me out, okay? The funny thing is, when I found this car, the mileage was really low, 44,000 kilometers, everything stock. Yeah, you'd think it's rare. And I was one of those guys who was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep it stock. That, my friend, I'm very sorry to tell you this, but that did not last for long. You know, sometimes you say, I want to do this or I don't want to do this. Next thing you know, you end up doing it. It happens, right? So, let's get started. So, let's look at the back. Let's take a look at the back. This is the first thing you notice, which will make you realize that no, this is not stock. I have right here a Kakimoto muffler, and it's a replica. So I spent a good amount of money on it. It's got a really bassy kind of setup. You know, I have friends who have mistaken my exhaust, like mistaken the sound of my car for that of a Golf. And I'm not even kidding. So let's get started on what's under the car. So my first ever mod came with my first service, and that was where it all started. So first things first, I got a Works drop-in air filter. Like, I was recommended to go to Hayabusa Performance by a friend of mine who owns a Satria Neo. So with that being said, you know, Satria Neo specialist, and I was looking for a mechanic to work on these things, and I've absolutely no regrets. But guess what? My mechanic poisoned me into this shit. So there goes my fucking money, right? Burning my fucking wallet, but hey, it's worth it. So first thing was the Works air filter. Then the next thing I got were 421 stainless steel extractors from Marco. That's a company in Malacca that builds extractors. And well, let's say something tragic happened, and you know when that happened? Literally the day before New Year's Eve. My car broke down. Don't ask me how, but okay. Like one day I was going home, my brother picked me up from work, engine was overheating, engine blew, and we didn't know what happened, but when we sent the car for a rebuild, that was when we realized that the fan motor was broken. So since then, I got the overhaul because I was thinking of getting some upgrades. I was thinking of getting an overhaul, and that time finally came when the engine blew. So it's time to bring this thing back to life. So what have I got done with the overhaul? So inside are pistons from a 1.8 Waja, the 4G18 pistons. You know, this car being an automatic and needing more download torque, it wasn't a good idea to put in high compression pistons because doing so would cause knocking on the gearbox. So the 4G18 Waja pistons were the way to go. And of course, the throttle bodies have been resized, the got supported column heads, and then I added the other stuff. You know, first the muffler, the how do I say it? Yeah, I got a throttle controller and the ECU stuff. So I got a lot of things done, and visually it might look stock for the most bit, but other than that, it's quite modified. Also, my engine bay was resprayed for free as part of the package. So that's what I got done into it. Now, let's get into the interior. On my seat.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
The seats are still original, completely stock, in good condition. And I like one thing I've installed here is a Pioneer double din player that's been nicely fitted, nicely mounted inside. Spend quite a bit, but it's worth it. Oh, and you gotta listen to the audio too. So the Blaupunk player is gone, but the factory Blaupunk speakers are still here. And this thing really helped to enhance and bring out the best in these speakers. Although I would upgrade these to some subwoofers and really bring out the sound system, but we'll think about that along the way. So there you go. I have a Pioneer double din. Now let me show you how this works. Yes, this is an auto tragic, I know. But hey, mileage was low, this and that. And with all the mods I've done, it's pretty good. Um, so let's get started. So, this is how the sound system is like. So, I can even adjust that. So, there are many different presets to choose from. Hold on. Okay, so you got powerful, you got super bass if you want something bassy, or if you want to focus on the vocals, you can play around with it, you can even adjust it and do a custom tune as well. So there are many ways to get around that, and it's really improved the audio system. So who knows what else I could do to that. Don't mind the broken clock here. And yeah, obviously this is a controller. Now, let me demonstrate how the throttle controller works. So there are several different modes around here. So first we have the eco mode. Okay, the weird thing is there are at least 9 different eco modes, and I honestly don't know how each eco mode is like because I only just stick to the standard first eco mode. Now, there are different numbers here ranging, and then this is the normal mode. Now, there are different numbers here ranging from 1.9 all the way to a maximum of 3.9. So that increases the intensity of the throttle response and all that, thereby giving it a stronger kick. You see, with the CPS engine, you've got, this car can rev all the way up, line all the way up to 7,000. But the CPS only kicks in at 4,200 RPMs. How this, sorry, I should have muted the music. So, how this works is, this car has a variable valve timing system. The ironic thing is, Cam Pro, which is the engine that powers the Satria Neo, stands for camshaft profiling. However, the original Satria Neos do not have camshaft profiling, which is basically that variable valve timing technology that gives you that kick, you know, like VTEC. So, VTEC kicked in? No, Cam Pro kicked in. So, the CPS, what they call the cam profiling switch, is what powers this particular variant, and actually has that variable valve timing. So once you get past 4,200 RPMs, that's where it kicks in. So before that, you won't really feel anything. So I got a lot of mods to improve that down low torque, especially the fact that I picked 421 stainless steel extractors on top of that. The throttle controller really helps a bit, so it feels as if you have 2 kicks coming in. You got 1 kick from the throttle controller doing its thing in the low end. So think of this as a sport mode of some sort. When you put it into these settings with the numbers, that's like the sport mode, and this is like the eco mode, and this is like the normal mode. So that's practically how it is. So that's about all I have here and there. I've practically put in a lot of work. As for if there's much else, so in the performance department, I think I've done more than enough. So I gotta focus on the handling mods, new tires, absorbers, and then the visual mods can come later. There's a whole lot to unpack, a whole lot to do, but one step at a time, and I'm sure I'll get it done soon. And there you go. This is my tour of my 2011 Proton Satria Neo CPS. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering about the horsepower, well, this isn't a car you get for horsepower. Stock from factory, 125 horses. My mechanic now claims I should be making 150, but I don't know about that. It definitely feels more powerful, a lot more powerful than it used to be. But, you know, I'll get it dyno one day. Oh, and by the way, the CPS spoiler beats the R3 spoiler by a long shot. So if you're wondering whether or not I'm changing this wing, no, this wing is here to stay. And there you go. That is the tour of my 2011 Proton CPS. Doug score? No, we're doing the Joel score here. So, starting with the weekend categories, styling, I think the Satria Neo is Proton's best looking car. It isn't gorgeous per se, but it is a really beautiful car, no less. Very well streamlined. Well, yeah, it is a gorgeous car, and I'd say I'd give that styling an 8 out of 10. The handling is sublime, good old front wheel drive, Lotus dynamics, so that gets a 9 out of 10. Comfort is pretty decent as well. You've got these nice leather seats. The ride is surprisingly refined. It balances sporty and refined handling at the same time perfectly well. So the comfort, it gets a 7 out of 10. Well, okay, let's bump that up to 8 out of 10 because it has cruise control as well. I forgot to mention that. My apologies. In terms of practicality, there's ample boot space. The rear seats are not bad, even for someone with long legs, but it's not for everyone. and I wouldn't say it's the most practical car out there, so I give that a 5 out of 10. Oh wait, that's the daily category. It's not the weekend category. I don't know how to give this. I don't know how to do this whole thing. But if I wanted to rate this car on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It could use a little more power. I mean, now with the mods I have, it's powerful enough. The handling, yeah, it's already amazing. I think even if I put absorbers and all, it could be even better than that. Like I said, it could use a little more power, better fuel consumption, and less overheating issues. No, we do not talk about the overheating issues. Do not ask me about that, and do not get me started on that. No, just no. Anyway, that's about it, and thank you so much for
Thanks, Joel. No
watching
problem.
my tour.
No problem. Thank you so much for being
Yeah,
so
you're most welcome.
hospitable and actually showing us your car. Thank you so much, Joel.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
No problem.
See you next time.
Yep.